takes off. Satan is not going to let you take off unless he initiates you. Now, after this happened, I was extortion man 666. Now I have the tattoo extortion on my forehead. I fully embraced the darkness, and I just thought it was just music. I just thought, okay, maybe it's just music. It was more than music.
As a very special testimony that I believe is going to touch many lives.
Dennis Stevenson, definitely raised in Miami. I was in a car, young, rapping the DMX. I put Young Jeezy on, he put Lil Wayne on.
You were influenced by that kind of music. I try to tell people how powerful music is. Not only did I grow up listening to certain kind of music and it put me in certain kind of moods and made me want to do certain things, but I also did music and was in the music industry for years. So I know the impact that it has on people. People don't understand that there's spirits in this music and attached to this music, and a lot of people get into things behind the scenes that they put into the music, and the enemy uses the music.
We're professional criminals.
So you guys were doing like breaking and entering.
I'm not proud of it, but yeah, most of us went to jail. Yeah, I'm actually on the news trying to somebody. This is when my older brother passed away, and then that's when Satan began to put that trauma in my heart, and now I was fully possessed.
Music industry side, how far you went in that realm and the things you experienced in that realm. So who would you say you met first?
I was in the streets at the time, and the person that was leading the pack on this end was Triple X, XX Tentacion Jase on first. Yeah, we went to the same school. He's lit up, he's on fire for Satan, I'm on fire for Satan too, so we two are the ones that's leading. But mind you, X was still doing music at that time. I was more in the streets, and I just thought it was just music. I just thought, okay, maybe it's just music. It was more than music. When my older brother passed away in 2017, once that trauma hit, that took me to another level of darkness. Now, mind you, at that time, I just did a show with Cardi B, Kodak, Youngboy. This is called Trap Circus 2017. At that time, it was like, we went to this house. It was hell in that house. An open portal of hell in that house. I mean, they're doing drugs. The music is like we're all manifesting in there all together. We're all doing it. And that spirit came within me. And he imparted me his vision and his goal that he wanted to bring forth. And you know who they idolize and who they represent is the Baphomet. That's the image that he's portraying. And when you see this agenda that men turning into women, women turning into men, no, that's the agenda that ultimately that he wanted to push. Now he's seen it. He has a mark too, and his agenda is to turn your way and to twist you into something that was never meant to be. I'm not looking at the demise. I'm not looking at the downfall. I'm not looking at the people that I'm going to influence to represent Satan and ultimately send those people to hell. The demons are literally coming out of them. This isn't a rock show. No, this is a church. The music that we're playing is the worship. When we're moshing, we're opening up a portal.
That reminds me of the Travis Scott show where they were doing the mosh pit and all those people ended up dying, and it was a kid who even died. And he had all type of imagery that had like portals. A man going through a portal and becoming red like a demon, like his face as a bat, like leading up to that show. And then that stuff ended up happening, and people were saying that it was a sacrifice. It was like a ritual.
Every concert's a ritual. I have people drawing pentagrams at my concerts on the floor. Image, the beast that was in me, I was sowing it into them, and you can definitely open your soul to some things.
It's like a church service, but for the dark side. And all these entities are just starting to grab hold of people. Man, it's really deep. You know, people need to understand this stuff is all spiritual, and the spiritual realm is very real. But if there's a dark side, guess what? There's also a light side. You ended up being pulled out of that darkness.
And then I went and I prayed to the Lord. I said, Lord, you know, if you real, show me. And I'm seeing it. Now my eyes are fully open. All those demons were literally, they had chains on me. We were in a covenant. Like we were in a blood covenant.
As you heard for yourself, Dennis admits that he sold his soul to the devil while he was chasing fame. He felt that he was being used by Lucifer to influence people into sinning and to guide them away from God. Dennis said that his music was leading people to hell, opening spiritual portals that were consuming people's soul. He also admitted that he was being possessed by the spirits that were using him. Dennis also spoke about Travis Scott and his Astro World ritual. I exposed the situation when it happened for being a ritual. Travis Scott is a Freemason occultist, and it's the reason he was banned from performing in Egypt. This man, although he was lost and committed to the enemy, states that God saved him and pulled them out of that dark world. Lucifer, Baphomet, whatever he calls himself, is no match for God. God can always get you out of everything, and anything. People choose to live in this belief that this is going on, even when rappers are showing us this in their videos. So many music videos have this dark demonic imagery. Serpents and rituals, or the literal devil, are all placed in these music videos. These artists openly worship the devil, and people pretend not to see it. For example, Lil Uzi Vert, one of the biggest artists of the last 8 years, has had satanic imagery since the start of his career, using satanic occult imagery in many of his videos and songs. Even though Uzi wears inverted crosses and other anti-Christian symbols, most people don't believe he's really worshiping the devil. They think he does all that stuff for attention, even when Uzi admits he sold his soul and is out here taking his fans to hell. I know you guys remember this clip of Uzi straight up telling his fans at his concert that they were all going to a burning end with him. Or when he told his fans he sold his soul to the devil.
Hold on, let me explain something to them real quick. Before everybody starts screaming and saying, oh, like I told y'all earlier, you motherfuckers entered the rapture. And if ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now, obviously all y'all motherfuckers going to hell. Right with me. So, let's get it.
Did I sell my soul? I sold my soul for you. Y'all coming right with me, you dummies.
Even with rappers like Lil Uzi straight up confessing to serving the devil, people still deny it. They act like it doesn't exist. It wasn't just Lil Uzi that admits this either, as a former Irish pop star, Shane Lynch, admitted the same thing, admitting that the mainstream music industry serves the devil.
Our side of the world, the Ouija boards, seances, all that kind of spiritual tarot card reading, all that stuff really got a hold of me. And interestingly, that all came from our very first album launch, which you would look at very innocently. It was around Halloween. It was a Halloween party in a big mansion. But in that was super demonic. But for we're just young kids, it's a bit of fun. The record company are there and all the journalists are there, and here we go. But when I look at the way the industry has the ruling over music. Now, of course, not all music is bad. By all means, it's not. But majority of it there is to take you away from Christ. 100% take you away from Christ.
In terms of the lyrics, and is that what you mean? Or do you mean industry itself, people, the big players in the industry?
Both, lyrically and both big players. Both. I've been in rooms at the top of the top, which albums are prayed over demonically. Music is prayed over demonically. That goes out to the world, goes out to the radio stations, goes out to the public. And when you see that stuff and know that stuff, it's frightening.
What do you mean by that, Shane, prayed over demonically?
So rituals, ceremonies, everything to bring, to give light to the devil, to Satan. It's a satanic music industry. That's majority of what it is.
Do you mean figuratively, or do you mean literally you've been in...
Literally, yes.
And
not figuratively.
Can you share what those albums were? Were they your albums?
No, they weren't our albums, no. They were not Boyzone albums. So that's what I mean by not every music is that, but it was on the stepping stone to that. So you're going back to 1993s into 2000s. And then if you look at what the music is today, the industry is today, for all your Sam Smiths, to your Dojo Cats, to your Beyoncés, they are so demonic, it's unbelievable. And we can't, it's in front of us. And it's something that we kind of go, oh, it's just music. But it really isn't. It's absolutely taken over the world, taken over our children, and taken over everything that's coming to the times of world crisis.
And are you talking about the messages that are in some of those songs, some of those artists, share with their fans?
Yeah, messages and the glorification of Satan.
And it certainly had some kind of influence on you, because as you said that you started to get very drawn into the dark side. You were interested in witchcraft and Ouija boards, and that led to some very dark experiences for you personally. Can you tell us a bit about what those were and how those came about?
It came about just through opening those doors. We've got to be very careful on what doors we knock on. And as soon as you start innocently doing a tarot reading or Ouija board or a seance or whatever them fun things as kids that we mess around with, you're giving ground to the dark side. Of course you are. You're now engaged. You've opened the door. And once you open doors, they have the rights. They have the rights to come in. And I opened many doors and found myself in a very, very angry, very dark place, self-destruct place, violent place.
These artists are telling us themselves the price for fame and what they were being used for. The devil is using mankind to destroy itself. People that are calling this satanic imagery shock value need to wake up, as these rappers that are using this satanic imagery are telling us it's not just imagery, it's what they're really into. This is something that came out of the mouth of a rapper, a part of the most legendary satanic rap group to ever be created, 3 6 Mafia. Koopsta, who was a part of the group, admitted that they were really serving the devil before he passed away, claiming that everything he was rapping about regarding the devil was all real. He even claimed that he was used by the devil to get black people comfortable with worshiping him.
My name is Robert Cooper. Rap name Coopstanika, but you can call me Coop. Yes, I was deeply, I don't know about nobody else, but I can tell you, we know we was doing 666. Hey, we exactly knew what it meant. You know what I'm saying? So kind of didn't want to get into all that, no matter what I blame God for doing, you know. I hated God for what he did, but as it came to the 666, I don't think I hate him that much, but I did it because it was money. And so, you know, you could, I even had the satanic books, the little warlock materials, you know, every warlock got to have a dagger, cut the little punch stars, whatever, little candles, and I had all that. I was into all that. So, because something about the other Bible didn't work out. So I can tell you this, we did, folks with 666, some folks were scared of it and left, put it. But me, I meant what I was saying. I definitely meant it. I said, so God, you're gonna play like that, huh? Well, I got you. I'm gonna make black folks comfortable with 666. Back then, black folks was like scared of it. You know, they wasn't too much on it. It's basically rock and roll. You know, they said 666, they go, ah. But then they start listening to it and go to church. So they said, asked a lot of y'all worship the devil. They say they're Christians, but they are from 666, you know what I'm saying? So my job was out of anger to make black people get comfortable with their name. And I was very intelligent with it because I read a lot about it. You know, so I read a lot of books. I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Baptist, I'm not an atheist, I'm not a Muslim, I'm not a Catholic. It's all to maintain order. Now, I can't talk against religion because without religion, which is what they use to maintain order, if that happened, it'd be a lot of chaos. You get what I'm saying? But I read a lot and I put all that into the music and the energy. You get what I'm saying? Because how you get Satan's name going, you get the kids to like it. Now today, see, I think we was one of the first people to break it like that. You would think 666 would have been a rock and roll band. So I think I was used by Satan, and I think he's a big, I don't fear him. I don't even believe in that mother no more. But just to get black people. You know, once you get the black people, which are the riders of the Bible, they carry the Bible on their back like Jesus, Yahshua, whatever his name is, told it the cross, you know what I'm saying, the crux or whatever. But anyway, we got people comfortable with his name, and we made sure we made songs violent. Very, very violent. We made songs very violent. Everything was violent.
That was an interview of Koopsta, who was once a member of the rap group 3 6 Mafia. In the mid to late 90s, 3 6 Mafia was a popular rap group who had incorporated these satanic themes into their entire brand. They called themselves 3 6 Mafia as a play on 666, which we all know is the mark of the beast. Koopsta admits out of his own mouth that he was a Satanist, and he indeed was incorporating real satanic beliefs into his music. He admits that the devil used him and his group to normalize the devil to his own people. He admits out of his own mouth that he got black people comfortable with the number of the beast, 666. He also admits he used to actually worship the devil and practice occult magic. What Koopsta is admitting to us is that he sold his soul because he wanted money, and the devil's industry provided him with all the money he wanted. In this part of the interview, Koopsta admits that he would use his music to hypnotize his audience with demonic 666 chants.
Violent. Sometimes we use the try to come up with stuff to hypnotize people, like repeated of 666, back-to-back 666. I got a bass line, you take it, you high. You hear these crazy ass samples that we've been off with and shit. It was a lot of crazy. We went downtown to do an album cover for Mr. Styles. And you couldn't know me, of course. I got on the guy, this me on the cross. Just me, Paulo, and the Juice with Crunch on it. He was one part of the group. We went across. Going on this in this city by rich folks and politicians that's in this shit. And this shit is really serious. So I told myself, hey, well, I'm not the kind of drink blood, because you know there's 150 some ways of worshiping Satan. Voodoo, you got Satans, occults, all kinds of witchcraft, sorcerers. So I guess I was just a goddamn messenger. You get what I'm saying? You know, I was a clean, fancy type Satanist, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I would like to, because I want the scum of the earth, like going wearing all the goddamn crazy colors and necklaces. I did have upside down crosses, yeah. I did have black fingernails, but I ain't that crazy off the wall kind. I'm strictly because there's levels in it. You got motherfuckers that go from the black robe to the chains and cuts on their bodies to mother with Italian suits on.
As you heard for yourself, Koopsta admits he was genuinely serving the devil with his music. All these artists are telling us the same thing. They sold their souls for money and fame, and the devil used them to influence the masses. If you're one of the masses who believes the devil doesn't exist and selling your soul isn't real, wake up. Take a look around. The devil has set up his kingdom here on earth, and these artists helped. They sold out to be used by the devil to trap souls and guide them to a burning end. If you happen to be one of these people who sold out and served the devil, it's not too late to repent. As you can see with Dennis, even if you're too far in, God can still pull you out.